Hello everyone, welcome here. MVC, Model View Controller. What it is, why we require to use in our application. Let's see what is what is view and what is controller. ASP.NET Core MVC is a rich framework for building web apps and APIs using the Model View Controller design pattern. It's a MVC is an design pattern. The way how the flow is going to move from one place to another place, which is based on the actions and performing the logic which is written inside the controller. These things will be happens over here. Let's see the intermediary steps and the process how it will happens. The MVC controller architectural pattern separates an application into three main group of components, which we are discussing repeatedly: the model, view and controllers. This pattern helps to achieve separation of concepts and a separation of code, and the process to be reusing components will be created, meaning the reusing components. That is the major advantage using MVC pattern in application development. So any of the pattern you may choose. The MVC pattern is vastly going rapidly, it's going on in software industry. Using this pattern, user requests are routed to a controller which is responsible for working with a model to perform user actions and are retrieving the results of a queries. Query is a nothing but user what he is requesting, but the action is going to be performing by the user based on the user requirement. We will write in a query inside to where the communication is happening with the database. It would be called as query. The controller chooses the view to display the user requirement and provides it with any model data which is required and requested. Model responsibilities are: model in an MVC application represents the state of the application and any business logic or operations that should be performed by it. Business logic should be encapsulated in the model along with any implementation logic for persisting the state of application. View responsibilities, majorly it will be presentation layer. Also we can call it as presentation layer. So views are responsible for presenting content through the user interface, where UI components are going to be adding over here. They use the browser view engine to embed .NET code in HTML markup. There should be minimal logic within views, and any logic in the item should be related to the presenting content. What the views we have to convert into the data into the presentation layer, and we are going to presenting to the user using browser web pages. Controller responsibilities are the components that handle user interaction, work with the model, and ultimately select a view to render the data and presenting. The controllers plays the main key roles. In MVC, how the user is going to be performing an action, based on the action it is routed and communicating with the model and collecting the data and routing to the view and presenting the data. MVC application, the view only displays the information rather than model, and controller will not. The controller handles and responds to the user input and interactions is nothing but actions, on mouse click actions, getting data, showing data, view data. These all the buttons we will place at view forms only. I hope it's very simple to understand about an MVC structure, we are working with the same components in real. By creating a scratch to creating of MVC app and doing a model and to its controller and adding views and how the data is moving from place to place, we will show you very clearly. I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you.